Hello, everyone. If you are catching me replay, hello. Please remember to subscribe so that you know when I'm going to be on next. If you turn on your bell notification, it will remind you too as soon as I jump on, especially with my weird August schedule that I'm doing, because we are doing 2 live nights a week. Normally, I am just on Tuesday nights, and going back into September, we will continue to do that. But for this month, we are doing 2 lives a week, so I will see you guys again next Tuesday. And also check out my memberships as well, because those are going to get you access to member videos and then our member only live. Our member only live is going to be in 2 weeks. And I forgot to set my timer for my members, because every live night I do just a random timer, and whoever I need to put that at the top of my notes here, but setting a random time, and then when my alarm goes off, I'll see one of our members comments. Hi guys, hi Shanna, hi Mama Odie. Just doing my little beginning spiel for those of you who are watching replay really quick before we jump into what we're going to do tonight. Next video is coming out tomorrow, Friday, and that is going to be an aura video. It's definitely a little bit longer, but it is just like jam-packed with information. You should know everything about auras after tomorrow's video. So that's coming up tomorrow. I will again see you guys next Tuesday. But for tonight, because even if you're watching replay, I try to make sure that there's still a reading at the top of each live night, and there's also like a message or something that I'm talking about, so there's kind of like rewatch value for you guys. And basically, we're going to be talking about the full moon that is coming up on Sunday. So Sunday for the, well, some of you guys, I don't know if that's like Monday morning, but just figure out what, like, kind of what night that is, what day that is for you. We are going to talk about the full moon and kind of what this next one is coming up and what the energy is bringing. And then I pulled some cards for all of you guys, and I'm starting to do our group readings pick a card style. So I'll end up having a bunch of piles for me to choose from. I also pulled my Astro dice. So got all of that set up. Before I jump into it, I do want to just mention that Saturday, here in Colorado, I am doing an event in person, doing animal communication readings at Three Dog Bakery. So if you want to stop by and say hello, check out my Instagram or my Facebook post, and I will see you guys there. Alrighty, let's get into the full moon stuff. All right, so really quick, the full moon that's coming up. I took some notes because it's interesting that this is the second full moon in Aquarius. And I guess the energy of like when there's a second full moon is it's kind of like, okay, whatever you were trying to like release or let go of or manifest last cycle, sometimes there's an energy of like it doesn't feel complete, and that like totally resonated with me. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like last full moon cycle I was trying to release some things, but they're definitely like still here with me. And so I felt really good about that, because I was like, okay, perfect, upcoming full moon, I'm definitely going to get the last little bits of that out. And let's see, so it is a full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius energy is very innovative. So we're gonna have like a period, like the next month up until the next full moon. It's all about innovative energy. So new ideas, being rebellious, doing things differently. Sometimes this can lean towards the bad side of like not being careful of like what you say or how you treat people, because you're just like so focused on your goal and your idea that you've set out to do. A fun little fact that I also found out, it's called a sturgeon moon, which it was actually because right around this time, the sturgeon fish were like something that you harvested right around this time. So that's why it's called the sturgeon moon. Hey guys, how are you? We're talking about the full moon that's coming up this Sunday. Let's see, new ways of thinking. And then too, just kind of backing it up, any full moon, this is usually about manifesting new ideas. Intuitively for us, it was loud, sorry. Intuitively for us, I feel like we are actually more on the side of letting go. The group that I'm reading, I feel like we're still kind of letting go of like stuff that's in the past. If you don't feel like that applies to you, totally fine. Full moons are usually about basically harvesting whatever you set the intention for at the new moon. So the new moon is like where you plant your seeds. Full moon is where you harvest it and kind of like start fresh. And one thing that I researched that I actually loved was that some people see this as a harvest time, or some people see it as like a breaking point time where like all the energy like builds to a point and it needs to like crash and fall down. Like it could be just like chaos basically. So I'm curious like which you guys think that energy is kind of building up for you. I'm feeling more on the harvesting side, and I'm ready to set new intentions personally. But sometimes full moon can definitely be like all the chaos is building and it's just like, all right, well, whatever I was setting intentions for last time clearly was the wrong thing. I need to hit the reset button. But yeah, I think that is basically kind of the overview of the energy of full moon in Aquarius. So I wanted to talk about some rituals that we can do. Actually, well, how many people do we got in here? Let me do that first. So full moon rituals. Have you guys done full moon rituals? Let me know. 'Cause I'm going to give you two really quick. And this is kind of perfect timing because it gives you enough time to get all these things together before Sunday. I do use crystals. Not usually for my full moon rituals, but I have lots around me. Hello, Meerkat. Welcome. The sturgeon is quite rare. Yes, and it is a blue moon. And that's why it's called a blue moon, is it doesn't happen very often. Sir Jester, living up to his name. Or her, I don't know. Or they. I should stop doing either of that. But, yippers! Alrighty, so, first full moon ritual that I'm going to give you guys. This is the easier of the two. And basically all you want to do on Sunday, if you can go to the store and pick up like a bottle of purified water, that's like going the extra mile. You can even get a jug. And then you want to have a glass vase. Now this is like a glass vase that I have that I like painted with like gold flakes. I don't know. But this is like a glass jar, and you want to fill it up with your purified water. And then honestly, I would cover it so like nothing gross gets inside. And then you can set it out on the full moon. Now the purpose, or you're basically making full moon water, and what you want to do here is make sure that it doesn't get any sunlight on it. You're basically going to put it out after dark, set it outside where it can like kind of soak in the moonlight, and leave it out all night. The only thing about this is you do have to wake up and get it out of the sun, but like before the sun comes up, and then you've got your full moon water ready to go. And this doesn't even really involve intentions. You just have some full moon water that you can use moving forward. A lot of people will use this water to cleanse their crystals. They'll use it for water cleans. Some people will drink it, so you could make sure you're really using a clean glass and then put it in the fridge and drink the moon water. I'm trying to think. Do you guys have any other ideas for moon water? I know there's like a ton more that you can use it for. You can use it in any other rituals. I had a feeling, Mama Odie. I was like, I feel like we need whatever we didn't fully let go of last full moon. Like that's where we're at. I identify as human most days. Perfect. Yeah. And that's something else you guys can do with the full moon, is put your crystals out. Now, honestly, if you're watching this and you've never done any sort of full moon ritual, I highly encourage you just to try one thing. Just try one thing this Sunday. It could be as simple as putting your crystals out. The one thing I would say about putting your crystals out. Like sit and meditate with your crystals before you do this, then put it out in the moonlight, and then do the same thing afterwards. Sit and meditate with your crystals afterwards so that you can see and feel if there is a difference, which I'm sure there will be. But yeah, so that is the first ritual that you guys can do. And we'll get into our pick a card reading here in a second after I give you my second full ritual. Now, the second ritual I will add in the description down below, or not the description, I'll put it in the comments when I'm done, because I've actually done like a little short video on this. But basically, in case like you don't understand me verbally walking you through it, and basically what you do is you take a piece of paper, and what you do is you write down all of the things that you want to release and let go of. This could also be manifestations too. I want to manifest this. And really put these as affirmations. So put them in present tense, like I am receiving a new car, or I've already bought my new car, or something like that. So either put your intentions or things you want to let go of, like I release X. And then what you want to do is kind of space them out on your piece of paper. I don't have anything written here, and then what you want to do is like tear the each of the affirmations up. So, this is like one affirmation. Tear them all up so they're all individual. And this is something really fun that you can do with a group. Like if you have time to get a group together, it's really fun to do this in a group. And so next what you're going to want to do is you want to get a bowl, a pretty large bowl, and then you want to get some bath salts. These are my absolute favorite. The pink Himalayan smell amazing. I have literally tried all of their different scents, but this one just like, oh, it smells so good. And I could just sit here and like smell it. But you want to put the bath salts in the bowl. And then if you're with a group of people, what you do is one at a time, you can read whatever you're letting go or whatever you are trying to manifest out loud. If you want to keep it private, that is okay. You can just put it in the bowl and not say anything. And basically what we would do is we'd go around in a circle until everyone has put all their little pieces of paper and affirmations in. You can also put other things in the bowl. So you can put herbs that might represent something to you or to the thing that you want to manifest. You could put in crystals, jewelry. Something that my friends would always do is write checks to themselves for like $1 million. And they pull. I'm trying to think. You could put anything in there that symbolizes something you are trying to like let go of or release. Let's see. You can also set jewelry and talismans out for protection. Yeah, and I should say that these are inherently probably devolved. Is that the word? It comes from a lot of like witchcraft stuff. But even if you're not into that, that's okay. This is just like a ritual to set your intention. You're not doing anything negative. Like really all you're doing is just setting positive mindset and positive goals and just making it fun while you're doing it. I think that's all I can think of what you would put in the bowl. Oh, you can also put in oils, and this would just like make it smell good. You can put in flowers. That's something that we've done a lot too whenever I've done this. Flowers of certain colors to represent chakras or, whatever you're trying to manifest. The purpose here is that it has to like resonate with what you're trying to do. So there is some forethought to this ritual. So you might not get to it this Sunday, but definitely keep it in mind. And so now you should have a bowl that's filled with your bath salt, filled with all sorts of junk, all sorts of paper. And again, you don't have to do this with a group, but then you want to take the bowl and everybody, you could do it one at a time or everyone together, just Reiki the bowl. And if you aren't quite sure how to do Reiki, what you can do is just put your hands over it and set the intention that you're sending energy, even if you can't feel it. And it's good healing energy, and everything in this bowl is going to come true. And then what you want to do is take out everything from the bowl that like you can't like bathe with, like take out all the pieces of paper or jewelry. Essentially what you should have is just like a really nice bath salt. And then what we do is we usually put these in like little jars and pass them out to everybody. And so you want to save those, put them in a Ziploc bag, take them home. And then what you go ahead and do is on the night of the full moon, if you are all together or if you're doing this on the night of the full moon, take all of those little pieces of paper out, like you give them back to the respective person. And then you go outside and safely burn these. And so you want to burn them. And the visualization I want you to do is as you're burning them, you are releasing it to the universe. You know, if it's something negative that you're releasing, it's like, this is in my life no more. And if it's something you're trying to manifest, you're releasing it to the universe to help your guides take the next step to help you manifest this. So you should have all your pieces of paper burned. And then what you want to do is go home, take a really nice bath on the full moon. And the intention here is that all of those bath salts have all of that good intention in it, all of those good vibes. And you go home and you bathe in this, and it kind of cleanses your aura. Bath salts are just great anyways to cleanse auras. But you kind of say, I'm embodying this, I'm taking it on. You know, if you had full moon water to drink at the same time, it would just be awesome. Again, remember with all these rituals, you guys, that it's all about belief. You know, you have to believe that it's going to work on some level. If you don't, you know, you're doing this just for fun. So that is my second ritual that you guys can do. And again, that second one I did a video of, and I will put it in the comments down below when the video is over. Always positive intentions. I'm trying to learn more about witchy stuff too, and I'll probably bring some of that over into my teachings, but I will always like make sure you guys know the difference and again, not mix religion into it. I don't know if you guys watched my video on hoodoo voodoo, but hoodoo practitioners, they don't always necessarily, you know, believe in voodoo, or they don't practice the religion of voodoo, but they do hoodoo practices, which are just like things derived from that religion, and they do the practice of it, but they don't necessarily like they're not a formal like voodoo person. And so that's kind of like the same thing with some of these rituals and things that I teach on my channel. A lot of it is not literally, you're not doing the very religious thing. Like somebody asked me if I did an angel video, and in the angel video, you're supposed to light a candle to welcome in the angels. And they asked if lighting a candle was witchcraft. And it's like, yes and no, like not in this particular instance. You are just lighting a candle, but it can be. But like, if you believe it's the same thing, I don't know. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say here. But just know that none of this is going to like, I don't know. I guess I'm speaking to the people who would be afraid of like being brought into a different religion accidentally, but I think the majority of my followers are not those types of people anyway, so I don't have to worry. Alrighty, so those are the rituals you can do. Let's get into the messages for everybody. So we have 4 card piles in front of me, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is what you need to release for this new moon. So if you haven't already thought about it, I'm gonna pull these cards. What do you guys need to release? And I also set the intention that if there's anything like you guys need to manifest, it would show up in these cards. So just feel which one you are drawn to, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And I'll read my little astro dice really quick. And it's so perfect because I got Aquarius. And then I got, what was this planet? Why can't I remember? Oh! That's my timer. Shanna, you were the closest commenter to my timer. Awesome. So Shanna, tonight you get a free reading once we get into the individual reading. So once I get there, I wouldn't throw up your question yet because I might lose it. But yeah, that is kind of one of the perks of being a member is every live night I set a random timer and that person gets a reading just for being here. All right, I'm not doing individual readings quite yet, you guys. I'm doing group readings. We're doing a pick a card reading. So we have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is what you guys need to release for the new moon coming up. I never win things. Hey, Eureka! I'm totally with you, Shanna. Side story, when I was getting married, my venue had like this like bridal, I don't even know what to call it, like a day where all the brides who are going to get married soon could come in, sample the food, like meet vendors and do all of that stuff. And they were doing giveaways, so you could enter a giveaway and then you might win something for your wedding. And I won, and I screamed so loud because I never win, and I was so embarrassed, but I won a brick. It was funny. I still laugh about it today because I won a brick. But the brick basically is like, it's a brick, but they carve like your names into it, and then you get to put one on their property. But this was like an extra brick that you could take home. So I have a brick in my living room with our names on it. It recently dropped and totally like put this massive dent in our living room floor, which sucked. But anyway. Yes, Mama Odie had the words when I didn't. You can practice witchcraft without being Wiccan. Bunny in the house again. You are not late. Stop, a brick. Yes, I won a brick. It would have normally been like an extra $. Those people get you with weddings. So if you're just jumping in, tonight's theme is we're talking about the new moon in Aquarius that's coming up this Sunday. So I walked you guys through a few rituals that you could do, hence like the witchcraft conversation that we've been having. And so now I have a group reading for you guys, and this is what do you need to release for the new moon. So this is a pick a card reading, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you haven't already, if you need to, pause it so that you can not get influenced by me starting to talk about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I also pulled the Astro Dice for us. So I still can't remember what the planet was, but the planet I remember what it was about, and it was all about like literally innovation, growth, new ideas. Like all of these are basically just resonating with the Aquarian energy to begin with, which is funny. And then house number 3, which is all about, what was house number 3? It was like mental processes, like thinking, analyzing. And so to me, this is just like moving into the new month with this new moon energy, really trying to get out of your head and come up with new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new ways of communicating. That was the other big thing. This is all about just like renewed energy around new ideas, new opportunities. What else was I saying? Just like it's actually really calling you to be rebellious. Like that's the key word that I took away from it. Doing something really outside of the norm, breaking the molds, being brave. Let's see. If you win enough bricks, you'll have yourself a house. I need to release everything. Well, yeah, and what's funny is our last full moon was Aquarius. And so this is our second full moon in Aquarius, and I kind of researched that, and it's basically saying it's a perfect opportunity because whatever you didn't release the first full moon, which I definitely did a big ritual, but I feel like I got rid of like maybe 70% of it, but I still need to get rid of the other 30. And let's pull these cards. Well, I'm going to leave that reversed. Let's see. Hi, Pris. I released all the fat cells vacationing on my backside. You guys are cracking me up today. All right, so pile number 1. And I always forget I should like pick a pile when I do this. My guys are telling me they're all for you. That's kind of cool. I guess that's what I get for being the reader, right? So I pulled the magical child card. I feel like this is where we need to be heading. So pile number 1, this is what you guys need to be manifesting, because full moons are about manifesting something new, but it's also about harvesting whatever you kind of set the intentions for last time. I feel like if you guys have been struggling, it's a struggle with pessimism, depression, disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. I'm also hearing that this could be that you also believe that you have to work super, super duper hard for growth, and, you know, not just like receive it and let it come to you. So I feel like pile number 1, that's kind of where we've been stuck. That's the energy we need to release. We need to move forward into optimism, joy, which is literally like, this is exactly what I put on my full moon water that I have. I did the full moon water ritual that Gem Goddess put up. I started that 2 months ago. I still have my jug of water. I have a really big jug of water, but basically she did the same thing, like make the full moon water, set the intentions around it, give it like Reiki, and then you take a sip of it every single day until the whole jug is gone. So yeah, mine has lasted me 2 full moons. So yeah, I feel like pile number 1, we really just need optimism. We need to connect back with our magical child. So think of yourself as a child. What did you believe in magic? Like, what was magic to you as a child? That's like where I want you to put your mind. And I think this is like, so for me, like, I'm just gonna like mention, because I've been super called to doing like more work with the fairies. I've been super called to do just like learn about witchy things. And, you know, this is something I really believed in when I was a child. I used to be the most optimistic kid out there, but life has beaten me down. I've been in survival mode for too long. So the pessimism is like totally resonating with me. But just so you know, full moon, conclusions are within reach. And so maybe I feel like this is just that last ounce of hope that you guys need, so that you can fully set aside that pessimistic behavior. And just, if you need to believe that the conclusion of this, like something is going to be reaching its full completion, I think having that intention and holding it is going to help you release this a little bit better. It's crazy. And I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. I talked about it a little bit last live, but I talked about how my water ritual is like, I'm pretty sure I might be manifesting a property, even if we don't buy it. Like, I'm definitely manifesting something. I'm going in the right direction. All right, pile number 2. So we're doing a pick a card reading. This is for everybody. This is what do you need to release going into this next full moon, or what you need to manifest. I feel like all of these are going to be a little bit of both. Pile number 2 is interesting. I'm going to start with the Moonology card, because I'm getting a time to give rather than take. Okay. So they're telling me, because this is a new moon in Virgo, and I specifically remember reading today that this new moon is going to be a little bit more difficult for Virgos, because we're going to get all these ideas, all these new opportunities. We're going to get so freaking excited, and then we're going to take on too much. So I think this is balancing, making sure that you are not overgiving, that you are not overtaking from somebody else. Like, I'm just feeling like this is a pretty big balance, like making sure that you're doing that moving forward. Maybe you haven't been doing that the best over the last like month. And then I pulled the Priest card, which I'm kind of like, what is it that we need to, and I feel like this is less about letting go. I feel like pile number 2, you guys are more about don't worry about the past. Just set the intention for the next month. And your guys is, it's kind of interesting because the priest facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So I'm feeling two things. I feel like some of you who are intuitive workers, this next month, you're going to be open. You're going to be having all these new ideas come in. I mean, Aquarius is literally about like communication and ideas. You might have some really big connections with like clients or just like ideas of how you can give your energy better to people. Again, like make sure it's balanced, make sure you're not overgiving or overtaking from other people. For the other chunk of you guys, because I feel like some of you, it's about being a light worker and using this correctly. I should say intuitive worker. For some of, and what was the other part? You're telling me like that was it. I know there was something else. I'll just read it, but I feel like this card in its shadow aspect, like think of the shadow side of a priest. It's like when you give out all this information and you feel really good about yourself because everybody's coming to you. I call this like the resident psychic in like my line of work. It's like when people just are like worshiping you, kissing your feet. And it's like this very egotistical version of this role. You know, if you are a priest and you're doing it for the right reasons, you are letting information flow through you and you're giving it to people. You're not doing it to build yourself up or to make yourself feel better. Like, it's not that that can't happen, but this is like being, it's crossing over into the point where you're like violating other people, and then your spiritual role, seduced by your own spiritual role. I feel like for some of you, this is just like, this next period is taking a step back, and like I'm hearing the word like becoming more humble. I think I'm having such a hard time with this pile because I feel like your guys' energy is like fighting this so hard. Like you would never want to admit that you're doing these things for the wrong reasons, but it can absolutely happen with like psychic work. Absolutely. It happens all the time. Even myself, I sometimes have to rein myself back and be like, no, it's not about me. Oh, that's a good idea, Mama Odie. I love that. Thank you for the tips. So I feel like when I'm saying pile number 2, what you guys need to manifest, it's like being a cleaner and clearer vessel so that you can give to others, you can give to yourself, but you're not like taking from other people, taking in the sense of being like, oh yeah, give me the attention and the love, and not overgiving to a point where like you feel like, you know, you're having to please everyone and make everyone happy because you have all these new ideas and you're feeling so in alignment with communicating. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. And obviously you guys can add more to this, whatever you want to let go of or whatever you want to manifest, but it's just like your guides throwing something extra at you to keep in mind. So pile number 3, what do we need to let go of? We need to let go of the vampires in our life. I literally pulled this in reverse. So to me, this is the shadow attribute. So this could be you, or this could be being done to you. And this is like depleting others. So you could have other people sucking your energy, or vice versa. You could be sucking other people's energy. So it says depleting others for your physical survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. And so that's like the shadow attribute. So these cards, what I love about these, and I have them linked down below, these are the archetype cards. And there's a light side and a shadow side. So inherently, not everything is bad. Not everything is good. There's gray area. And that's what I love about these cards. And so the shadow side of like vampires is like, yeah, sucking everyone's time and energy. And you could be doing this to other people, or other people could be doing this to you. And it's not even people. It could be things in your life, you know, a relationship. That's people. It could be work, it could be school, it could be just like over committing to too much. But there's something that is draining you that needs to be let go of. Feeling this pile. So just, how long have you been sitting on that one? I used to dress up as the moon, but it was just a face. Why do I feel like you Googled that? Am I wrong? Okay. Oh, you guys are funny. Okay. So yeah, definitely let go of anything that you are attached to. It's pile number 3. I would actually do a cord cutting meditation instead of all of the rituals that I gave you. You can also do a cord cutting ritual. Like I literally did this last new moon, and I put 2 candles and I tied like a string between them, and I lit them both at the same time, and just kind of as they melt, I just did a visualization that, you know, I'm releasing this thing that I'm trying to get rid of. And as I am doing it mentally, I'm doing this to add a little bit more oomph to it. So yeah, for you guys, pile number 3, you guys can, I listen to a cord cutting meditation just on YouTube. So you can look one up. And again, you can cut cords with anything. It doesn't have to be just people. And it's crazy when you do cord cutting meditations, because sometimes you'll see a cord and you'll not even realize that it's there. And then when you like tune into it and you're like, oh, this cord, it's attached to my heart chakra. That makes sense. And like you have all these epiphanies, and just an awareness of like how you could be attached to someone or something can be so helpful for letting it go. I'm trying to remember. Like it was so cool because when I did this meditation I was trying to cut out something in my life that I've just been so like attached to energetically. And when I imagined the cord, it was like me sending all this love and energy towards this person. And it was funny because it was like the cord got to this person and then it just like fizzled out. And it's like, this person wasn't even like receiving my energy. So it was like me doing all the work, putting it all out, and then it not getting like taken in by this person. And I thought that was really interesting because I saw it as a big blue light cord, and blue to me represented, I had to ask at the moment what it meant, and it actually meant something different than what I would normally associate blue with. I think it was emotions, but it was also coming out of my heart chakra. I'm getting on a tangent, but it's just do a cord cutting meditation, pile number 3. And I just now looked at the Moonology card. Nothing will come of this situation. So we really need to let this go. We really need to let whatever go. And it doesn't mean you have to like quit your job or completely like leave somebody. We want to get rid of what is no longer serving us. And it could just be that you're getting rid of your energy that you are giving it, if that makes sense, without like cutting out the person or, doing anything else. It's just like I'm releasing my negativity towards the situation. All right, I'm taking forever. Pile number 4. Lots of purple energy for pile number 4. What do you need to let go of? That's interesting because that's like very similar to pile number 2. So I pulled the Mystic card. Sorry, my dog is barking. Pile number 4, this is less of what you need to release and more of what you need to attract. And this is your union with the divine. This is crown chakra. Like this is your connection with your guides, your connection with this higher power. And what's coming through is like you guys use your intuition to things like on like mundane things, maybe not even mundane things, but I feel like you don't have a relationship with who you're speaking to, who you're connecting to. And it could be grandma, it could be a spirit guide, it could be God, whatever you believe in, but that connection is just not as solid as it could be. And so pile number 4, what you're trying to manifest moving forward into this next new moon is more of a connection with the divine. And I'm hearing 1111 for this pile because you also got believe in the impossible, which I almost feel like that's similar to pile number 1, where it's like, I think the reason why you guys aren't connected to your guide, source, whatever you believe in, is because there's a lot of pessimism that they don't help you out or that they're not really there. You feel very like alone. And so maybe exploring those feelings of like, why don't you feel like you can connect with somebody? Why don't you feel like there's somebody out there looking out for you? This is like so crazy because all of this applies to me, which is kind of cool. And that's another thing I should say. If more than one pile resonates with you, take it for sure. Thought of it now. Cord cutting by Sapien Medicine. Nice. Thank you. Ash, bark, bark. Feed me. I know. You guys know now. I'm flattered that you remembered his name. It's my husband is inside taking care of baby, and this is like dinner time, so he's probably just so overwhelmed because baby's probably cranky. Cats and dog are like, feed me, and he just got home from work, and he's probably like, I just want to sit on my ass. Dog is also baby, yes. He's part of the tribe. Yes, and 1111 for me has actually turned, I started to see it so much that I realized, okay, whatever I thought it was before, I'm clearly not getting the message here. There's something else that I need to be seeing, because I always associated it with like positive thinking, positive mindset, like your thoughts create your reality. Think about what you want, not what you don't want. And I still think it actually does mean that, but I just kept seeing it over and over again, and it was clearly like, all right, like I'm not picking up some message here. I'm missing something. And so I pulled a tarot card on it, and it was like basically that card. It's like, believe in the impossible, believe that something could work out for you. That's definitely pile number 4's energy. Also pile number 1 a little bit. Awesome, guys. So that is our messages for everybody. Let's jump into individual readings. And I will say we only have one more week of extra live nights. So next week we're going to do one extra live night, and then already in September, basically, which is crazy town. Members, remember, August 31st is going to be our member only live for this month. Right smack dab last day of August. So I do have a reminder up for you guys in the community page. Put that down in your calendar now if you don't have your YouTube notifications turned on. Alrighty, let's do individual readings. I want to put away. We'll keep it. Why not? We'll keep it. Quick little rules for readings. Normally we do guessing games. I feel like everyone in here is aware of that. But just in case we have any new folks in here, we do guessing games. If you guess what I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. If someone donates, thank you, Jordan, then I will jump to them first. But once we catch up, we will do individual readings. Oh, who was the one? Shanna. Shanna was our member that won the reading for tonight. So Shanna, also let me know what your question is. Shanna, I'll do you after Jordan. Quick other note. No, I feel like my guides are telling me this won't be a problem tonight, so I'm just going to skip that. I took notes and I can't read them. Oh, I was going to say, if you get a reading from me tonight, I'd greatly appreciate your review on Google. Trying to get Google reviews up. I've been like, I just need one. I just need one so that it'll actually like start showing up. And I know I've been pushing it a lot lately, but if you resonate with a reading and you want to leave a review, that Google link is in the description down below. Alrighty. So Jordan says, never been a confrontational person. Not sure why. What can I do to be more confident in direct intense situations? Ooh. I'm hearing the words practice. Like, you're going to screw it up, but they're showing me, like, you forgiving yourself afterwards and then, like, walking through what you did wrong, what you could have done better, but forgiving yourself, because like that's literally the best thing you can do when you're practicing. And it's what we want to avoid is like avoidance. I feel like that's what a lot of people do is like they mess up, they beat themselves up afterwards, and then they avoid the situation moving forward. They avoid what they did wrong, what they could have done better. They avoid trying to learn from it. Using your intuition will definitely help. If you have the ability to tune into your intuition at the moment or in the moment, absolutely do that. I'm just going to ask, like, I feel like the question should be more, why is this happening? I'm getting that you're just very naive, not naive in a bad way, but you're just like very pure of energy, and people take advantage of that. Like literally I pulled the card, the hedonist, and it's like these people indulge at the expense of others. So maybe part of this is just making sure you're around the right people, asking your guides for signs, like when something might turn the wrong way, just so you can like exit before something even bad happens. I literally pulled the dreaming card. I pulled visions, dreaming, and coral wisdom. Like this all to me says that you have the ability to address it. It's all within you. You just have to tap into like your intuition and your inner knowing to know how to handle it. There's no outside thing, Jordan, that you need in order to handle this, which I think is actually super self-assuring. They're telling me to give my personal advice. How do I do that quickly? Because I definitely have had this issue too. And how I dealt with it, how I deal with it, is I'm very on top of stopping myself when I get angry in the moment and taking some deep breaths. Learning that I do not have to match the other person's emotions. And so having programmed responses in my head of like, let's talk about this once we've cooled down. Or just like saying things like, I don't see it that way, or clearly we shouldn't be talking about this now. Let's come back to this later. I feel like that's literally how I dealt with it. And as time goes on, I just learned to be less anxious in the moment. I feel like that's personally, it's the overcoming the anxiety in the moment, which is a whole nother like deal. Again, that's my personal advice, but they told me to give it. Thank you, Jordan. My boy starts 5th grade Monday. Oh my gosh, Shanna. I was wondering when school started. Some people have been like posting that it's school. Some people have been like still on summer break. Exhibit A. Woohoo! Yay, Yurika will be there. I just said I would remind you guys for the member-only lives because some of you guys missed it last time and I felt awful. Let me just pull. I mean, that's something too, you guys. As a member, if you want to hear me talk more about something, like you can have me talk more about something in one of my videos. So yeah, personally dealing with trying to get over anxiety. I feel like most of it was a couple years ago, but I'm just now realizing like it had a name and I was like, oh, that's what that is. But I can speak a lot to that. Yeah, other people around me always seem, I feel like Jordan, like I'm really getting drawn to like the anxiety of the moment. It's like what shuts you down. Maybe identifying, and if it's not that, identifying what shuts you down in the moment. 11. Yeah, pure kind of just I feel like I always think of the Fool card in tarot. It's like naivety, young child-like energy. And I feel like that's just because you are so, I mean, like clean and clear in a lot of ways. And because of that, people take advantage of that. All right. So Shanna got the member reading for tonight. I would honestly just love to know if my spirit guide, spirit teams have a message for me. I feel like they've had something to say that I'm just not getting. Ugh, I feel like that's me all the time. What deck do they want me to use? This one. Big cards, big cards. So they're definitely trying to send you encouragement. They really want you to know that you can do things on your own. Like, they really don't want you to go into situations like asking necessarily for like help. This is like help in a bad way of like asking to be rescued at the expense of like you growing or you learning. And I think that's maybe where you're at and what you've been struggling with. And they're trying to tell you, like, you can do it. And it's as simple as, like, setting the intention of what you want. They're telling me, like, just ask for help. Like, we will help you with anything, but you just have to ask. Let's see. Anything else for Shanna? But like with this compass card, this card is like the artwork for the whole deck. So whenever this one comes out, it's like, I feel like it's like the big one of this deck. And I still remember reading, like I remember the book description of this card. And this is basically like saying, you know what, you're gonna set your compass to go north, right? And I had a feeling I was gonna be describing this tonight, and I've been thinking about like how to describe it better. So when you're setting your compass north, it's like you find the North Star, you like line up your compass, like that's how you like fix it or correct it, right? Am I crazy? And then it's like your compass is set and you're moving towards north when you're lost in a situation. And the thing is it's like, what is the star? What is the North Star to you? What is it that you want? And so maybe you want a new house on a more earthly level, or maybe it's just that you want hope or clarity. And you don't know how you're going to get there. You don't know what the path in front of you looks like, but you're going to set your sights. You're going to position yourself and you're going to aim towards that goal. And you're constantly going to be remembering it, looking out for it, heading that way. Again, you don't have to know what it looks like to get there. And I think that that's the key. It's that you don't have to know, don't try to control what it looks like to get there, but do have your North Star. Have like the end goal in sight. And so I feel like that's, in relation to Shanna, they're encouraging you to not rely on everybody. You can do it yourself. All you have to do is ask for help and set your compass towards whatever you're asking for help. You're very close to achieving your goal. Like, I feel like the energy here, Shanna, is like, we're just trying to give you that last little bit of encouragement, and they're trying to get you out of like doubting yourself on something that you're trying to manifest. Because this is like you just manifesting a lot of things in general is what it feels like. And they're just trying to come in and give you a little bit of info. Hello, Nico. We're all a bunch of introverts, huh, Shanna? Depends on the school district. Yes. I'm going to have to figure that out soon, one day. All right. I have to run. Have a great night. You too, Lori. Thanks for jumping in. All righty, you guys. So if you're asking questions, if you are new here, how we do this is if you send a donation, I will get you a reading first. Otherwise, we do guessing games to do a reading, and we haven't done one of those yet. So I'm going to do that right now. So I am thinking of a color. If you can think of the color that I'm thinking of, then you get the next reading. I just about said it out loud. My brain is all sorts of places. I do that too, Shanna. Thinking of a color. I should drink some water. Eureka, you got it. Eureka always gets it. Eureka, let me know what question you have. Eureka is like proof that if you just show up every time by sheer like saturation, you'll get a reading. Also, guys, too, if you want to reach out for a reading, you can book a reading with me anytime on my website. You can also book coaching sessions with me, and you can also find the links to all my courses there. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Thank you. I finally have one. That's all I need. I just need one. Or else it doesn't show up as like reviews. A message from Spirit, please. They're telling me this is more along the lines of like what needs to be released, Eureka, moving into this next month. Addiction to self-pity. That's what needs to be released. So I pulled Martyr in reverse. So Martyr upright is learning to transcend. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. I feel like that sometimes these make it way more complicated than it needs to be. But yeah, being a martyr means you're putting your energy out towards something because you really believe in it, and you do it for the good of all. And, and it's not necessarily, it's just weird because I feel like the opposite, being addiction to self-pity, just doesn't like make sense with the opposite of being a martyr. So like being a martyr is like going out and doing something for the cause and not really expecting anything in return. I guess it sort of makes sense. Whereas the shadow is like feeling sorry for yourself all the time to a point where you don't really serve yourself or others. And I don't want, like Eureka, I don't think the message here is like to give to everybody else. I feel like you are in the zone of like needing to fill your own cup first. But I think what needs to be released mentally is like getting rid of the, oh, this is happening to me. Oh, this is happening to me. I can't, I don't feel like it's not that you don't think you can control it, but just stop like making a list in your head. Cause I feel like that sort of gets you into, it's harder to get out of when you're keeping stock of all the bad things in your mind. And I feel like it's more about creating maybe an abundance list. Like what I like to do is anytime something good happens to me, I write it on like my abundance list and I put it on my fridge. And like anytime I get anything good in life, even if it's not monetary, somebody gives me a compliment or something, I'll write it there. So then I can constantly be reminded, oh my gosh, I have so much abundance. Thank you, PM. I will get to you in a second. I feel like the filling your own cup, Eureka, is like the message here, because I also pulled the Queen card, and to me it's like you need to take care of yourself first. And like I'm getting the visual of like other people serving you, like waiting on you hand and foot so you can feel awesome. And then it's like as soon as you have that, you can give to other people a lot better. Definitely like fill your cup first kind of energy coming in for like the next month or so. And I think that's going to be what's helping you to get to being more of a helpful person to other people. You're going to be able to jump more into the martyr zone because your own cup is filled first. Yeah. Alrighty. Eureka is also fast on the typing. Yeah. Everyone's like, Eureka, give me tips. So remembering to form the relationship with my guide/team and asking them for help was definitely what I needed to hear. Woo-hoo. I definitely need that a little bit as well. Where's your website? Where can I find that info? That is all in the description down below. You can also find that through my channel. Like my channel page, I should say. But I have like in big all caps, it says my links, and then you should have a link tree. It goes to everything that I possibly have that's a link. All right, let's jump to PM next. My husband's cancer metastasized to certain parts of his body 5 times, once every year. Hoping this year he will be cancer-free. Oh, I'm sorry, PM. Is there a question there? My husband 5 times once every year. Geez, hoping this year he will be cancer-free. Yeah, PM, I just want to make sure not waste your reading. Let me know what your question is if you have one. You're welcome, Erica. No worries, Nico. I will see you next time. I will be on again next Tuesday. Woo! I hope you buy it. So please do share any updated links you may have for your course on your Udemy. Yeah, it's always the same link. So if you go through my website, you find me on Udemy, those links shouldn't ever change. It's published and it's sticking there. Bye, Nico. Much needed message. You're welcome, Yurka. Oh, and Yurka, was it you that asked me the other night? Somebody asked me the other night if I had any book recommendations for trauma or something like that. And I recommended Light is the New Black, but I was like iffy about it. And then, of course, as soon as I got off, I was like, oh, I thought of a different book and I should recommend it. I have not read this book, but I have heard so many good things about it. I have it coming in from the library right now. But it's called How to Do the Work. And it's literally about like psychology and like this is like what a psychologist is supposed to give you if you don't go and see a psychologist. It's obviously not taking the place of like a counselor, but I think it in some ways is being marketed like that. I don't want you guys to take the wrong thing away from this, but it's basically like counseling yourself through like trauma, past things that you need to heal from a much more psychological perspective, which like my Virgo in me is like, heck yes, give that to me. So somebody, I don't know who asked that, but there it is. They might not see it, but that book, I'm recommending it and I haven't read it yet, but I feel like it's like already resonating with me. PM, just making sure, did you have a question around your husband's cancer or were you just throwing up a super chat? I just want to make sure. But thank you, Carly. Carly, I did have one person ahead of you, but I'm just making sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me just get to PM really quick. Will my husband be in remission? Just know, PM, that as a medical intuitive, I cannot diagnose, and I should not diagnose, and I should not prescribe anything. I just give my intuitive viewpoint, and then you guys can take that information and do what you will with it. To me, it feels like it might have been gotten rid of, but I think it's an ongoing problem, unfortunately. I could be wrong. The future can change. It does feel like I don't want to give you this message. I don't want to lie either. That's what it feels like. It feels like, and I'm feeling that pretty strongly. What I'm going to ask for you, PM, and I'm so sorry this is happening. I have lost a few people in my family to cancer. Also COVID. But yeah, I just want to ask, like, if there's anything we can do energetically to heal it, anything else that's not being paid attention to with this cancer. Honestly, I feel like this requires more than like a 5-minute reading, but I'll do something light. I'm asking for the essentials. This is a promising card because